So let's talk about Fort Greene a bit since we're here, and this is a uniquely Fort Greene event. Like you said, we both lived in this neighborhood. We moved to this area. I moved here in '85 because it was, at the time, it was an area where a lot of the younger black artists who I admired were living. Branford and Wynton Marsalis particularly, a lot of jazz musicians, a lot of up-and-coming R&B musicians. And the area has remained and maintained a real artistic center for both music and literature for like 25, 30 years now. It's kind of unusual, I mean, to have that kind of, even as the population has shifted, from what it was to what it is, it still has an artistic reputation. It's almost unmatched in the city right now.
And I mean, not just reputation, it's real. Like, you walk out your door as a writer, you run into a filmmaker, you run into a writer, you run into an actor, you run into a rapper. And it's not just to be encountering famous people, but like, I find yourself talking shop, sharing opportunities, sharing knowledge about what's going on in terms of writing craft or writing events or what have you. And it also reminds you too that writing is something that real people do, especially because writers are sequestered away, you're all alone, and it really matters to your
community,
creative spirit to see other writers and to talk to them.
Then your collection, you did Soul Cities, your short story collection, is kind of inspired by Fort Greene, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I did a short story collection called The Portable Promised Land, which talks about a place called Soul City, which definitely is inspired by Fort Greene, the sort of, the vibrancy that we all know of black culture, the beauty of it. We are extraordinary, we are extreme, we are vibrant, we are neon, and all those sort of things. Like, I would see somebody riding their bike down the street with their feet on the handlebars and a boombox on the back, and I'd be like, that's the vibe that I'm talking about for my book. And I ended up having part of it be about a mayoral campaign for Soul City, where there's somebody from the hip-hop nation, somebody from the soul music community, and someone from the jazz community who are competing to be the mayor of the town. And so it just sort of relates to the way that music matters so much to who we are as a people.
And music is very much a part of what I mean, this area from, people go past the Brooklyn Moon now and see it as a cafe restaurant, but it was a centerpiece. It's a really important historical place, actually, in terms of black art in Brooklyn. It's where the black spoken word scene took its major hold, and you'd go in there and see Mos Def, Talib Kweli, how you doing? Sarah Jones, and so many other incredible poets who later became recorded. Saul Williams began his career there. So I mean, in this very blocks that we're standing on here, around the corner there's Spike's office, where Spike has been working since 1986, making films and so on. There's so much indigenous culture. This neighborhood is one of those places that when you walk outside, at least for me, gives me a sense of inspiration and continuity, a connection to a world.
And we'll talk about connection to a world and connection to the world. This neighborhood in particular is a very soccer-loving nation. I know I walked to take my kids to get a bagel in the morning on a Saturday morning, and the Mullanes is filled with people watching Man U and Arsenal play, or whatever game's going on. If the bar is filled at 8:30 to watch the premiership, a regular season premiership game, this nation's all about soccer. And you walk around here now, this Scapello has their big screen out, you can watch the World Cup. This one, that one, Madiba's a big home for the World Cup.
South Africa?
I mean, there's at least 10 places around here. They'll pull out the big screen. Cornerstone's another one. Watch the World Cup with the community.
And that's why you're wearing your Brazil jersey.
Yeah,
you're a front runner.
Yeah, babe.
So, what else do you want to talk about Fort Greene? I would just say this. We're very happy. We're two writers here. We're very happy about the Greenlight Bookstore. And I think that's one of the most important developments in the neighborhood in the last 2 or 3 years.
There was a long time I was like, you can get anything in walking distance except a book.
Yeah, and it's become a real center. Those of you who are just walking by or sitting here because there's people talking, the Greenlight Bookstore has become a very important institution in this area. All of the great writers who live in this neighborhood go through there. A lot of the other great artists who do lectures there come through. It's become a kind of artistic hub and clearinghouse for community that we desperately needed here.
And if you don't necessarily realize, it is valuable and helpful to buy books from an independent bookseller. Nothing wrong with the Barnes and Nobles of the world, but when these women control the bookstore, they decide what books get bought for the stores that sell to us. So that matters. So it's less of a conglomerate deciding what we get exposed to, and I think that's valuable. To have multiple voices rather than just one big voice deciding, right?
Yes, and I think on that note, I'm gonna leave.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right.